5:14. Let's get over to meteorologist Hannah Gard checking out our forecast.
Thanks, Rob. It's looking a little bit cooler this morning. For most of us across the area, we're about 5 to 10 degrees cooler because we have calm winds. You can see all of our areas, not much in the way of wind, and we've had that breeze around, which typically will help to kind of mix those temperatures up a little bit, and you don't see them fall as far. But because we have calm winds, we're seeing 40s on the North Shore, Bogalusa, and Slidell. We even have some low 50s in southern Mississippi, and then New Orleans International in the 50s too. So it's feeling a little bit cooler to start. You might need that light jacket out the door, but as soon as the sun comes up, we're going to really quickly get into the 70s, and then we're topping out at 80 degrees today for our high. It's going to feel pretty warm until that sun goes down again, so you will need layers. It's going to be warming up each day, and that trend continues all week long. We will still see a couple of cool mornings, but those 80s are going to be back pretty much every single day through the extended forecast. We have high pressure over the East Coast. This is what's allowing for those cool temperatures to continue because that high makes the winds a little bit calmer, and we can see that lower threshold. Now, this low pressure over near the desert Southwest is actually an upper level feature that's starting to dig northeastward. This was a cutoff low. Now look how quickly it's moving up to the northeast. It's going that way because there's high pressure over the central parts of the U.S. that's building over us in the upper levels. That upper level high means that the front doesn't quite get down to us. So you see that system passing just to our north through the end of the week. Maybe we see this drop our temperatures a couple degrees, but we're not looking at any strong fronts because of that high pressure that's going to be dominating the weather pattern. So each day we could see a little bit of warming, a couple of degrees. By Thursday, we're in the mid 80s. Here's where that front comes by. I do think it could help to moderate our temperatures a little bit because we could see the winds pick up and that'll help out. But we're above normal all week long. Something that will change some things is we'll see a little bit of a moisture return. We've been very dry. Our dew points in the 40s and 50s. It's going to start to climb back by midweek, but it's still not in that muggy category. It's just a little bit higher. What that does is it makes the threshold for our lowest temperatures higher. So on the North Shore and west of the lake, we're not going to see as cool of mornings. We can't get down into the 40s anymore. We'll be more so in those mid 50s, which still feels cool, but it's just not that crisp fall feeling as you're heading out the door. Then we see that even a little bit above normal by the start of next week. Now looking at the tropics, we do have a system that we're kind of monitoring in the Caribbean. This is a tropical storm. It just made landfall in Cuba yesterday. It was a hurricane, but it's been weakening as we have wind shear fighting this system. 50-mile-per-hour sustained winds still, and very slow movement to the west at 2 miles per hour. This is going to get picked up and pushed northward. So we could see some impacts to the southeastern Bahamas before this goes out to the open waters of the Atlantic and will not be a threat to land any longer. So no threat to the U.S. We're not seeing anything else in the tropics that we're watching, but you can still see systems form all the way through the end of November. It's just really hard for those to get in the Gulf because we start to see those fronts coming down. But not seeing any of those fronts in the extended forecast, guys. We're just looking at a little bit of a warming pattern. We had a nice taste of fall. That was great, but we know it doesn't typically last that long when we do see those fronts coming down.
Man, I was really getting used to that.
I know, it felt really great last week, but the mornings are still going to feel cooler. It's going to be a nice feel out the door, but you need those layers because when that sun comes out,
I was going to say, immediately when the sun goes down, though, you get the other switch of it. So just keep a jacket in the car.
Yeah,
that's what happens this time of year.
All right,
thanks so much.
All right, guys. Well, it is Monday. Back at it. Let's see what's happening on the roadway.